Michael Jordan is the first ever athlete or former athlete to become a billionaire. You might think the GOAT accomplished this through a lot of saving from his NBA career earnings and a more modest lifestyle than your typical NBA player, but this couldn't be farther from the truth. Not only does Jordan earn more yearly nowadays than his whole NBA career salaries paid him in his 15-year NBA career, but he was also able to set himself up to live the life he deserves. Join us now as we take a look at how Michael Jordan became the richest athlete ever. First things first, how much did Michael Jordan really make during his NBA career? Throughout his 15-year career that spanned from 1984 to 2003, Jordan earned a total of $93,285,000 from his NBA contracts. It's worth noting that the majority of those $93 million came in 1997 and 1998, Jordan's last 2 years with the Bulls. He made $63,280,000 in those 2 seasons alone. To put things into perspective, each team's salary cap in the 1997-98 season was $26.9 million. Jordan's sole contract paid him $33.1 million that year, with him single-handedly earning more than the salary cap and more than what his 1998 NBA Finals rivals, the Utah Jazz, paid their whole team. Back in the day, there was no luxury tax, and teams could exceed the cap to pay their own players as much as they could. But not even Jordan getting paid more than the salary cap in back-to-back seasons make him the richest athlete ever. As of this video's release, Michael Jordan has a net worth of approximately $1.6 billion, according to Forbes. His wealth peaked at $2.1 billion earlier this 2020, before the pandemic affected worldwide economies. But how did Jordan go from $93 million in career earnings to billionaire status? Jordan is the head of one of the most famous and recognizable brands in sports history, Nike Jordan. Its success relies on the fact that the Air Jordan brand broke the sports barriers and became a part of pop culture and high-end outfits. Today you'll see rappers, actors, and all sorts of celebrity bringing the swag with their customized J's. As of 2015, Jordan made $100 million from Nike royalties, and we can only imagine that number being higher 5 years later. Nike's Jordan brand alone brings in roughly $3 billion in revenue each year. Thus, it wasn't surprising to hear Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, call signing Jordan the best decision I ever made. Even though Jordan wanted to sign with Adidas in 1984, the company passed on him because they preferred signing players who were 7 feet tall. Jordan then signed a $250,000 yearly contract with Nike, and the rest is history. Nike isn't the only company Jordan has been with for a long time, and he's had other lengthy sponsorships with the likes of Gatorade, trading card company Upper Deck, and clothing company Hanes. But good money isn't always a guarantee you have a deal with MJ. Jordan says he has always been picky about his endorsements because he wanted to be genuine and also build his own brand. He once rejected a huge endorsement deal with canned beans product Beanie Weenies because he didn't like their name. "How can I stand in front of a camera and say I'll eat Beanie Weenies?" said Jordan. That deal was close to $1 million per year, and even though he had made less than $5 million in career earnings at that time, he still rejected the offer. After the end of his playing career, Jordan has continued to make partnerships and smart investments in other businesses. Most recently, Jordan took an equity stake in the sports betting company DraftKings, as well as a special advisor role with the company. He also owns several restaurants, including North 1000 in Florida, Michael Jordan's Steakhouse found in Connecticut, Washington, and Chicago, and Michael Jordan's restaurant in Chicago. He also owns a Nissan dealership in North Carolina, invested in tech startup Gigster some years ago, and was a part of Derek Jeter's investment group that bought the Miami Marlins, making him a minority owner of the MLB franchise. Throughout the years, Jordan has made sure to share his wealth and give back to the community by helping the most needed ones during hard times. After winning multiple lawsuits against 2 supermarkets that associated themselves with Jordan without his permission, MJ got millions of dollars and donated them to 23 charities benefiting the children of Chicago. In 2016, Jordan also pledged 2 large donations to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund and the International Association of Chiefs of Police's new Institute for Community Police Relations after a string of police-involved shootings. In 2018, he donated $2 million to Hurricane Florence relief efforts. In 2019, he pledged $7 million to open 2 medical clinics in Charlotte. But his biggest philanthropic act came earlier this year. As amid nationwide Black Lives Matter protests over the killing of George Floyd, Jordan and Nike's Jordan brand pledged to donate $100 million over 10 years to organizations fighting for racial equality, social justice, and greater access to education. This is just another proof that even when Jordan was never the type of player to speak out on political issues or social movements, he is still committed to make this planet a better place using his platform and a portion of his wealth to help the cause. According to Forbes, Jordan makes around $145 million every year. This gives him enough leeway to spend as much as he wants and live quite a comfortable life. For starters, the GOAT of course has his own personal jet. It's painted Carolina light blue and white with his Jordan logo, and its ID number, N236MJ, features his jersey number 23, the 6 championships he won, and his initials. He also spent $12.8 million building his dream house in Florida for him and his wife, and a $2.8 million residence in North Carolina. Jordan is also a passionate golfer. He was so annoyed at the pace of play at his previous golf club that he instead decided to build his own private club called Groove 23. MJ has a fully customized Carolina light blue golf cart with his Jumpman logo as well. You still might be wondering how Jordan became a billionaire if he lives such a luxurious lifestyle. The answer to that lays on the investment he made back in 2010 when he bought the Charlotte Hornets NBA franchise. He bought the team from Bob Johnson in 2010 by paying about $180 million in cash and assuming his debt. The franchise was valued at $278 million that season, but the league wasn't in the best financial conditions, with half of the teams losing money. Today, Jordan's investment is really paying off, thanks in large part to the league signing a whopping 9-year, $24 billion deal with TV broadcasters ESPN and TNT. The value of every NBA team soared. Today, the Hornets franchise is worth an estimated $1.5 billion. Last September, Jordan sold a small portion of the team to 2 New York-based investors, but still has control and owns the majority of the team. Since MJ bought the team, its value has increased by 757%. He has said winning a championship as an owner would be more gratifying than any of the 6 rings he won as a player, and despite the Hornets having little success since Jordan bought them, he's turned them into a profitable organization, and that investment is what eventually helped Jordan become the richest athlete ever. How much wealthier do you think Michael Jordan can get? Make sure to comment down below, and as always, please leave a like and subscribe.